Hi everyone, it's Maddie again, and welcome back to our third and final pollinator video this week. Today we're going to be focusing on bees and how to attract bees to your garden. What I have here is a cute little homemade bee motel, and you can actually put this outside and it attracts a lot of types of solitary bees. And solitary bees are super important and usually really unheard of. About 70% of bees in Colorado are these solitary bees, and they don't belong to any hive and they don't make honey. Instead they go and they drink nectar right from the flowers and do a lot of pollinating. So the majority of the pollination that you're seeing outside from bees is done by solitary bees. So these guys actually live in a lot of crevices and holes. So by creating these little bee hotels, you can give them a place to lay their eggs and have like a little house basically outside, which is super cute and a great way to help support our bee populations here in Colorado. So as far as supplies goes with what you're going to need for this, really any type of hollow tube is going to be good. It's important that the back of it is closed off. So although in this example it is not, as long as you have, when you place it outside, as long as it's placed against something that has a really sturdy back to it, it works out. But if you also have just a bottle, that works as well. So I'm doing my best here to use recycled materials, so toilet paper tubes, a plastic bottle that I found outside. These can be used to create these bee homes outside and be able to reuse and kind of recycle these materials. All right, the next step is to get some paper to make the tubes. Now I'm using this paper bag that I had laying around and just kind of reuse it. Instead of throwing it away, we can turn it into this bee hotel. So that's what I'll be using for this, but any type of paper bag type thing will suffice. You're also going to need some tape and then also some scissors as well as a pencil. So the first step is going to be to cut your strips out of your paper bag. As you can see, I already got a little bit of a head start on that one. And the goal is for it to be about 8 inches long. You can kind of make it a little bit shorter, a little bit longer, and kind of add some different variety to it. But overall, a strip kind of just this size is going to work out really great for you. Once you have your strips cut out, you're going to take your pencil and actually roll it into the paper strip just to kind of make a little hollow tube for these bees. A pencil width is pretty good size, but you can also kind of mix it up, make some smaller ones and make some larger tubes as well, and that will provide a lot of different houses for a lot of different types of bees. So once you have it kind of rolled up in your pencil, you're going to take some tape and just make sure that it's on there, that the tube isn't going to come undone. And then after that, you can pull your pencil out. And then I usually cut off these excess pieces right here, and we'll throw those in the recycling bin just to make sure that it's not super long for these little bees. So once they're about this length or even a little bit longer, you can add them into your little tube holder in your little bee hotel. And once it's filled all the way, it'll look something like this. Once you have your bee hotel made, you can go ahead and place it outside. And bees are kind of picky on where their hotels are. So if you have like a log pile outside or like a fence that you could place it up on, you want it to be about 2 to 4 feet above the ground. And then you also want to make sure, like I mentioned earlier, that the back is covered. And so once you have bees living in your bee hotels, you'll be able to tell. Females will lay their eggs in there and they'll actually block off the front of the tube with some mud or other random dirt materials. And so once you see these tubes start filling up, that means that your bee hotels are in use and that there are probably some eggs in your hotels. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope that these DIY crafts attract a lot of pollinators to your garden this summer. Bye everyone!